Welcome to the Yeah Buddy Experience podcast. If you're looking for a podcast to motivate you and get you on track to overcoming obstacles and challenges, this podcast is definitely for you. Get ready for powerful and inspirational goodness, brought to you by your hosts, Mike and Johnny.
Yeah, buddy!
And we're on episode 3 of the Yeah Buddy Experience podcast. Your main man, Mike.
And myself, Johnny.
And we are so lucky today to have the lovely Nina Simone Williams.
Hey.
Singer, songwriter, and entrepreneur. Amazing.
I think so. I think I'm that.
Well,
yeah.
I hope you are. That's what we brought you on the show for.
How do you say great? If someone takes a great picture of you, what are you?
I am everything that you just said.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because the photos that I've seen of you are ooze confidence.
Oh, thank you very much. I think when I'm in front of the camera, I become somebody else.
Okay.
I'm sure you've heard that so many times. It's like a cliche with all like entertainers.
Yep.
It's like you're living a double life.
Okay, so who are you when you're behind the camera?
Nina.
Okay, and then like in the studio setting, like where we are now, who are you today?
I could be Simone if you want me to be.
Okay.
I'm a bit like Johnny right now. So let me tell you, my real name is Simone Williams.
Okay.
And my stage name is Nina Simone Williams. And it was a bit of a transition, and it was something that I had to find, because I was originally, well, I'm sure you can ask me, but my background is originally from a girl group.
Okay.
So
First class.
First class.
Mm-hmm.
So I was Simone Williams in first class because I was a baby. I was like 17. I was a baby. And then when we broke up, I had to then identify myself as a solo artist, because within the period of being in first class, it was 4 of us. Mm-hmm. Then it was just me, 1. So I was like, well, who am I? I could have done Simone Williams, but it just sounded boring.
Okay, no, that makes sense.
You know? Then
sense.
I was Nina, but then my mom was like, no, there is a Nina Simone already. And I was like, okay, add the Williams. You know, and so that was Nina Simone Williams.
What's the Williams?
That's my surname.
So that is your surname.
That's my real
so
name.
You just added it all on.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's it.
Okay, that's nice.
Stage names and real names.
Fake
I know,
names.
right? I just got one
You're
name.
boring.
Yeah,
We need to call you something.
Yeah, my name's
Like,
Mike.
no, like Aloysius or something.
Aloysius. Wow, back home. Fantastic. But what I was saying is that there's a sense of an American accent when I hear you. So I was just watching some of your videos on social media platform Instagram, and it sounded like there was an American accent in there, hidden away.
Like, really? Did you really hear it?
Well, yeah. Or was
You can
that
hear it
put
now.
on?
Oh, you can hear it now? You know, the funny thing is, okay, I'm not fake or anything.
Okay.
Because people, growing up, it was like, why are you sounding American? Why are you sounding this? You got to picture the scene. Like, in the 80s, I grew up in Chicago, Illinois.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
With Jamaican family background.
Mm-hmm.
So can you imagine that? Typical.
Hard.
Typical.
It's a mix.
So one minute we're bust out in a Jamaican, and then next minute we're American, and then I came back to London, England, and I was like, okay, I'm back to being who I am. So that's never left me, you know. And I guess as I'm getting older, I feel like it's changed. I feel like I can't hear it anymore, but sometimes what I say, you'll hear it. And then I'm like, oh, damn, I just said it like that. And I'm like, okay. So, yeah, I'm just being confused. I've been confused.com for a very long time.
Okay, no, it makes sense. Because, for me, I was watching the videos and I was like, that sounds like an American accent.
Yeah.
And because I was in America last year, I pick up accents quite quickly.
Yes, of course.
And I was a bit shocked on that. But you gave us a little backstory. So when did you move over to the UK? What was the...
So, I was born here, South London.
Okay.
King's College Hospital. Hey.
Big up, shout out.
Shout out. And then to my recollection, 'cause I'm getting older now, I can't remember everything, but I remember leaving when I was 9 with my Jerry curl. Back then we all had Jerry curl.
Yeah, I wish I had one.
I'm sure you had hair back then.
Oh, I had hair.
But did you have Jerry curl?
I had long hair.
Literally.
It's about you.
Yeah.
I'll get emotional if we talk about my hair.
Well, so I
Sorry.
can actually join that conversation, because I
you?
used to have a massive afro, and then I was forced to cut my hair because my granny said that it was
Cut
too much
your hair.
maintenance.
Yes.
Yeah, too much maintenance. I used to be in the women's hairdressers on Sundays,
Yeah.
and all you would hear is just complaints. Yeah, my husband this, my boyfriend this, and you're sitting there going, I'm just here to get my hair braided. That's it.
That's all I want to do.
Yeah, just want to get my hair braided. But
yeah.
But yeah, I had to cut it, and I cried, man. I got emotional.
Of course.
I got so emotional. My hair was long. I had good natural hair, you know?
Well, at least you know you could grow it again.
I don't know if I can, you know?
Of course you can.
No, the barber told me you can't.
It's over with.
Yeah, he said it's over. But I'm sure maybe that's just a con just to get me to come back.
Well, you
on a
can
regular
always
basis.
weave it, and you know they do that nowadays. Like you, Johnny, they do hair
Hey,
transplant.
listen, I'm calm. I'm comfortable with my head. Yeah, I miss my hair.
Hashtag just saying.
Yeah, I'm comfortable, but I miss my hair.
I hear you.
I don't know
do
if I
hear
want to
you.
see you with a weave, but I'm just saying.
No, I'll show you my hair when it was long after this.
I want to see. But yeah, like well, I went to America when I was 9, and then this was always my mom's dream. Like it was always her dream, so I guess it rubbed off on me too. And so when my mom wanted to immigrate to America, I was 9. I had to go. I had nothing better to do. I went to school. I went to a mixed school, and I went to all black school. Okay. Can you imagine the scene, all black in the 80s?
In America.
In America.
Yeah, you've got problems.
South side of Chicago.
That's drug time, no?
Woo.
Isn't it? Time when the drugs were kind of
Yes,
hitting off?
sir. Yes, sir. Like they were at the corner, literally.
Selling
for
dope.
you.
Yeah, because I'm going through a stage where I'm watching a lot of documentaries from the 80s.
Yeah.
Of guys selling dope, selling drugs.
Yeah.
And that you can just see some of the clips that they have. America then was.
Yeah.
It was rough, man.
It was real. I mean, I remember you used to wake up and you're hearing gunshots and you're like, what is that? Like, what is that? And then you wake up and then you see the tape, just the police tapes just cornered off. And you're like, who that? Little Dookie got shot? You're like, what?
Whereabouts in Chicago were you? What area?
South side Chicago, more near Illinois.
So were you living in a complex or a house?
See, I grew up my aunt was very, she was very, I will call her the go-getter. So from Jamaica, they had, it could have been a rent, it could have been a house. I don't know what it was, but we had warm house.
Okay.
We never went to bed hungry. And it was typical, like my cousins. I had like 4 cousins. I had my aunt there, my aunt's husband there. It was like it felt like 10 of us in the house, but you always made it at home, you know. And it reminded me of the Cosby Show, because we had to walk up the stairs to get in. Yeah. And my school was around the corner. And I just remember one day I cried to my mom. I was like, I don't want to go back to school.
Okay. School that bad?
It was really that bad, because you got to remember I was coming from London, England.
Okay.
So maybe if I was doing that now, maybe they would have labeled me ADHD kid, because their teaching was different.
Okay.
I felt like I was slow, because London, England, excuse me, we are a bit slow when it comes to education back in those days. So it felt like all the Americans was like, they knew about their long divisions and they were doing cursive writing, you know?
The thing that I get from American schools when you watch it outside looking in is the whole, you got the academic side of it and also the sports side of it.
Definitely.
But when you're saying that you feel like we're a little bit behind is, I see it's that you hear the stories that the basketball player can't play if he doesn't get the
his grades.
So then they really have to
push on the studies.
Yeah.
push on the studies.
Yeah. Where over here, I feel like it's more relaxed. With America, like at 9, 10, I was, you know, like when you get your book, their writing was join up already at that age. And at 10, I was doing single writing. Where now everybody's like, oh my God, your handwriting is so beautiful. It's because it was like they did not appreciate single writing. It was always join up, cursive, they call it. So, and then learning the long division. Man, I came out at Einstein when I left.
That's not a bad thing, is it?
Yeah.
You know, but then what happened was I came back when I was like 15, and then my mom needed to go back because she had business to sort out. And then when I came back to England, I saw all my friends was like secondary school now. The girls looked like women now. Everybody looked grown. So I was like, I'm staying. So I stayed. And then as I got older, I went back and forth to America myself because we still had family there. And then that was me. So yeah, yeah, that's it.
Were you singing when you were at school in Chicago?
So yes, because in school we had this teacher called Mr. Porter. Never forget him. He was a bit like you, but had your build.
Say,
Hey.
yeah, buddy.
So
Just
it was
saying there.
it was like this tall, fine of black man, and we was like, dang, Mr. Porter.
I'll take that.
So it was like we always like wanted to hook him up with our moms, like all the mothers out there. Hey, Mr. Porter, and he was like the R&B, wasn't R&B, but the soul music teacher. Like I remember that was the first. Can you imagine in school singing? I don't know if you remember Babyface's group, The Deals.
Sure
Y'all
I
looking
do.
confused.
No, I know who Babyface
Babyface
is. Yeah, I know
Right.
Babyface
So
is.
before Babyface was Babyface, he was in a
Okay.
group called The Deals.
Okay.
That was with L.A. Reid, and it was with Jimmy Jam and Terry Lewis. So they had their group. So can you imagine being in music singing 2 occasions?
Okay.
Hello, that's your music class, singing 2 occasions.
Yeah.
And we'll do Whitney, So we was like that popular soul music class. And I didn't even know I could sing. I really didn't know I could sing. I felt like I wanted to sing, but I didn't know how to. My mom was a singer. She was in a lovers rock group called Miller Rose. Back in the day when Karen Wheeler was like in Brown Sugar and all them. That's how far back we're going.
No, as soon as you said Lovers Rock, I was like,
was
boy,
like,
I'm
hey.
going to tell my mum. Because my mum loves Lovers Rock. She goes to those parties. They have
Yeah.
parties at the moment.
Yeah.
In Wembley and around here.
You see.
But yeah, Lovers Rock. I've never really listened to Lovers Rock.
Oh.
There's a revival.
Oh.
There's a revival of everything.
Oh,
But
yeah.
there's a scene.
Well, there you go.
There's a scene.
So I always grew up in, and my dad was an actor.
Okay.
Where when I say actor, he does like the back in the day we had like the Jamaican plays that came over with Oliver Samuel and all that. Blue Mountain Theatre. So Blue Mountain Theatre is my godfather's production.
Okay.
So my dad was one of the actors on there. He actually was. I don't know if you remember when Stephen Lawrence, the whole court
got
scene that
murdered.
happened.
Yeah.
My dad was playing Neville Lawrence.
Wow. Okay.
So and then we became family and friends with them. And Neville is it's my sister's godfather.
Wow.
Yeah. So I always had that element of people coming in and out my mom and dad's house. If they weren't doing rehearsals for mommy, they were doing scenes for daddy, and I would be the one. My dad would be like, "Here's a script,
Give it a try.
learn with me," And
Yeah,
I was
makes
like,
sense.
just learning and being his right hand man. And mommy would need the harmonizer. Here she is. There's the back end singer. Come on now. So that's what I always knew.
That's
Nice.
fantastic.
No, it makes
Yeah.
sense. So that in regards to the getting into the music industry,
Yes.
how did the group get formed? How
Oh,
far did you guys get?
God. So let me actually tell you who inspired me to want to get into a girl group. Jade.
Jade.
See, you don't
Jade.
even know.
Jade,
Jade.
sing something from Jade.
So when I was in America, see what happened was I was
Jade, the group,
the
right?
group,
Right. Okay.
Jade.
Yes, I'm not single.
not this. Yeah.
I was thinking.
So
yeah. Okay.
I already had when I was like 8, 9. I was in a girl group called Candy Girls with my cousins and my god sister. We was a baby, so we used to just get thrown into little competitions, and we would do our little competitions. As I got older, and I understood, because back then now I was in the realm of the Mary J. Blige and the Jodeci's and the Boys to Men and, all of that. And then my uncle had this box. I remember he had this box. He came in and he was like, for something, he was like I got fired or something. Or they were moving offices, and he had this box, and it had the 45-inch records in there. So I was going through them, and he was like, just take what you want. And we're like, okay. So I was in there going through, playing it, and I'm like, nah. So there was this I remember this red vinyl, and it had Jade on it, no picture. And put it on. And then I just remembered hearing these sound, and this voice was like, if you don't mind, I heard her go, your reputation caught my attention. I just can't help myself. Don't want nobody else. And I was like, oh my God.
It hit you.
Who is that? What is that? I want to see what they look like. So when I saw the 3 black, beautiful girls, I said, now that's what I want to look like.
Nice.
Wait, did they have short hair?
They had
Remind me of
short
their
hair,
Yep.
and that video, they were in cat suits,
Mm-hmm.
and they were just beautiful women. And I'm like, I'm a woman. I want to look like that when I get older, So I remember when I came back, there was my same god sister and them. We was at the age now where we're interested in boys, right? So she's like got a boyfriend now, quote unquote. But I'm interested in music now. So while we're trying to do rehearsals, she's loved up and doing all her hearts on her book. And I'm like, girl, you ain't serious. But anyway, there was this guy called Madler, and he was a talent scout. I can give him his praise. When it comes to talent, he knew. And I remember that we were just talking, and another friend was like, oh my God, I met this guy and he said he can do this and he can do that. So she was like, I'm going to attempt to come to your house. I'm still at home with my mom's, by the way. I was like 15, 16. So she was like, come outside. So he sat in his car and he was like, yeah, because, I know Soul to Soul and I know all these people and, do you know this person? We're like, oh my gosh, yeah, I know that person. As you do. So he was like, yeah, because I'm trying to build a group now and da-da-da. So he took out we never had no phone back then. So he took out his portfolio. He was like, yeah, these are my girls now still. And so I was like, oh my God, I know her. He was like, you know this guy? I said, yeah, that's Mandy. He was like, yeah. I was like, oh my God, I really know her. Like, she's like an older sister to me. And Mandy was that pretty, like, coolie looking, that you always have one of those pretty cool looking good hair girls. And she, back in the day, she was like the girls of the boys' sound clash. Like if you had like a sound clash, the girls was the one that would walk in behind the sound and the DJs are looking like. So that was her. So he was like, yeah. Oh my God, that's good that you know her still, because I want everyone to be like family and da-da-da. So he was like, all right, sing for me.
On the spot?
On the spot.
Okay.
So I sang something. I don't even know what I sang. But he was like, yeah. Took out his pen and paper. He's like, can you meet me? Da-da-da. And I was like, okay, I need to run it by my mom's first.
Yeah, that sounds a bit questionable. Meet me a bit later.
Literally.
Different times back then.
It was
anyway.
different.
That's true.
It was
true,
different.
But
That's
still,
not happening today.
It ain't happening today.
there's problems.
So I want to talk it, but cut long story short, I then met up with him, Mandy, and then we done auditions for other people. So we had other people in the group, weren't feeling it, and then he done a little scout, and then he brought two girls, one called Lena and one called Vanya, and I was like, oh my God, I know Lena from church.
Okay.
I know Lena from church, so we already had that connection, and Vanya was Lena's school friend. So when back in those days, how I could describe First Class was Vanya was, she was Aaliyah, rest her soul. She was the long hair like Aaliyah, tomboy like Aaliyah. She was Aaliyah. Lena was the baby of the group because she was just the humble kind of child. But V also had the T-bars kind of tone. So she had the deep kind of tone. And I was the sexy one. And Mandy was the posh one. So basically,
Black Spice
it was
Girls,
we
yeah.
did. That's how we.
I
That's
was
exactly
just
how it
saying
was.
Black Spice,
That's
Black
exactly
Spice
how we
Girls right
was.
here.
That's how we was.
Okay.
And so one day, we was with Madla and we was with I don't know if you remember Loose Ends.
Yep, I've heard of Loose Ends.
So there was the guy that used to do the piano, Steve. So we had a session with him, and we done a song, a demo, and then there was, back then music was always circulating. Like if you're a fresh group, there's a open this happening, an open mic happening, da da da. So again, there was a situation where there was like a forum happening for unsigned acts, and the moral of it was bring your demo. They're gonna be panelists of A&Rs and producers, and they're gonna play your song if you're lucky. You can't let them know it's you, and they're gonna then critique it.
Okay.
So the room was full of 100 people, and the four of us are sitting there like, please play our song, please play our song. And we just done a cover version of Heart of Stone, Dave Stewart, Eurythmics, but we done it in the R&B version.
Okay.
And then we heard the guitar play, and we heard our song play, and we're punching each other like, oh my God, they're playing our song. And then there was this guy, I think it was Johnny Laws, who was at the time Gabrielle's manager and Mark Morrison's manager. Then there was an A&R from, Sony and RCA. It's bringing me back. And so they played our song, and then they critiqued it. It was a good critique. It wasn't even bad critique. It was good. So for some reason, V was like, let's find that guy who critiqued it because he was the one that gave us the best ideas and the best. So we're like, why? Like, the place is full of a whole heap of people. Like, really? Let me know if I'm boring y'all.
No, I'm in the zone, but I'm just so you guys have now formed the group.
We already had a group.
Okay.
This is us now getting signed.
Okay.
Because we were signed to RCA.
Fantastic.
And that's how we got signed. So we met Johnny Laws. Didn't even know he was Gabrielle's manager. Didn't even know he was Mark Morrison's manager. We just wanted to get the guy that critiqued us. Black guy. He passed away in January, rest his soul. And we grabbed him and we was like, we can sing. Like, we were the girls that you critiqued. And he's like, all right. He was a Jamaican guy. All right. So he was like, well, yeah, I manage this person and that person. And we're like, well, we're looking for managers. Kind of like we had one, but we're looking for one. So he was like, let me introduce you to somebody. So he called this guy called Nick Raymond.
Okay.
He was the A&R of RCA. And Nick was like, was that you guys that? And we was like, yeah, this is true story. So he was like, okay, perform for me.
On the spot again.
So we're like, 3, 2, 1. We was ready. we done Jackson 5s. We was ready. And we was just doing it and doing all this and, and then he was like, yeah. And what's your names? We're like, First Class. He was like it. Nice, catchy. Took out his pen, took out his paper and says, Monday, 10 o'clock, meet me in my office. True story. And that's how we got signed.
Oh, nice.
Just like that. No, let me
that's
see.
That's not just like that.
Well,
you put the work in.
Yeah, but now it's like, how many people are you following in social media?
Yeah.
Ain't nobody got time for that. This was raw talent. Like, meet me in my office. We was there. I think I was young. 2 of us was under the age, so we had parents to be there to witness us sign, and we signed our record deal.
Oh, fantastic.
Just like that,
Did you, and you've released anything?
So maybe you might need to call me back so I could tell you another story.
Okay.
Sounds like a part 2.
Oh,
No,
Lord.
there is a part 2 here. We're going to have to do a part 2
Oh,
on this one,
man.
haven't we?
But yeah, it was good. It was with Johnny Laws being our manager and with having RCA behind us, we toured with Peter Andre. We done his arena tour. We done Wembley Arena and we done Royal Albert Hall. We done, we worked with so many people and it was amazing. We had an album. Yes, we did get dropped. And it was a bittersweet because when we got dropped, we got told RCA was going into liquidation and they had to get rid of quite a few people. And I remember that time because that's when Take That was like at their pinnacle point. And I remember Robbie Williams, he may not remember it, but I remember him busting into the RCA office and he was like, if you had sense, you would leave too.
And you're just there like, oh my God.
We was like, he just angry. We should have listened.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was, we seen it all. Like, it was really good. But it was also, it made us grow. It made us grow. And the downfall about that is American producers work totally different than the British ones.
How?
Harder.
Everything.
So, for example, when they do their sound, you ain't leaving until it's perfect. They don't believe in no cutting short and synchronizing and whatever you want to call these new sound now.
Get it right.
You need to get it right. So I believe that when we was doing our album, we had these 2 producers called Dion and Jay from Chrysalis, and they pushed us to our limit. It was like, wow. I didn't know I could do those notes.
This is in the UK?
This was in the UK, and then we went to America to do,
okay.
But they were American producers.
Yeah. Okay.
And so we did our album, and then literally day of release, that's when we got dropped.
Oh.
Yeah.
How does that? Oh, because of the situation.
Yeah.
Okay.
Can you imagine?
That's a tough
the
one.
business, man.
Yeah, that's a tough one. So then you guys got dropped, and then what happened after that?
Oh, Lord, you just saw 4 black angry women.
Okay. Did you guys then continue to make music?
What had happened was, and this is what people need to understand, when we got signed, we had a retainer.
Okay.
So we was on like £1,000 a week. We had black cars picking us up. We had people, like I remember one time we done a show. True story. We did a show. And just as we finished the show, we was young. We wanted to mingle with the crowd, you know. We had one of our bodyguards was like, come here. Do you know who you are? Do you know how much you're worth? get up in the VIP now.
Mm-hmm.
And we're like, but we just wanted to have fun. We're like 4 babies. Like, we just wanted to, we're normal. Like, we're normal. But he was like, get up there now.
I love your accent. I love this. I love this.
Because it just
he
goes.
was like this, and he was like that.
Because when you put the Jamaican accent, I was like, "What? It's a Jamaican man." Then a rude boy. I was like, "Yeah, it's a rude boy." I was like, "I'm picturing these guys. I'm picturing
You
all
can
this
see it,
stuff.
right?
Yeah.
Seriously. So here we are, like, oh my God, like, we are maybe somebody. Like, when we was performing, we had people with a plaque, like, first class, we love you. Girls were crying. Can you sign here? I'm pointing to my chest. Can you kiss me here? Pointing to my cheek.
Mm-hmm.
And it was just like, wow, we are somebody, you know?
Yeah.
So it was a lot to take in. So then when we got dropped, man, like, how do you go from touring with Peter Andre and sharing the stage with SWV to now maybe have to go sign on?
Okay.
Sure. Yeah, maintaining the motivation, because I don't know. When you're young, it's kind of, you get told no,
Yeah.
and it's how do you handle
How
that?
do you handle
Because
that?
there's loads of other opportunity out there, but you don't.
We didn't see it.
No.
We didn't see it. So here we are, like, and at the time now, Mandy was like, I think I'm going to go now, guys, because, you know, we're like, what do you mean you're going to go? Like, what? So it was like, oh, fine. If you're going to go, go. And we all just turned bitter.
Mm-hmm.
And then I remember, I don't know if I should say this, but I was dating this famous producer. And
What's his name?
no,
Yeah, drop
no.
that. I was waiting to say, I'm going to Google this
What's
guy
his name?
now. Just search him now. Just
And-
say his name. It's fine.
And he was like, come over. So we was like, okay, cool. And we went over to where he was, and then just trying to like get a highlight of what was going on. And then I remember him saying to me, like, he wanted me to leave my girl group to be with the girl group he was trying to build. Now I'm like, how the hell that gonna look now? Like, I can't leave my girls. I can't do that. Like, I really couldn't do that. And he respected that. But then me and my girls had like problems, because here we are now. We was in New York, and I've got my maternal grandma in Georgia. And I said to them, because I grew up in America, so I was maybe being selfish when I look back at it. But I was like, let's go. Like, what do we have in London, England? Let's make it over here. But everyone's like, no, because I'm going to miss my moms. I'm going to miss my cat. I'm going to miss this. But, you know, and I'm like, to hell with y'all.
I
You
guess
know.
you just went.
So that's when we dispersed. And then I went back to the producer dude, and then, you know, try to make it work over there. That didn't work over there.
Okay.
That didn't work over there. And then that's when I was like, damn, I still want to sing. I still want to entertain. So I went through quite a few managers telling me they could be this and do this and take me there and whatever. That wasted my time,
Okay.
you know. But yeah, here I stand. And then I had my son. So here I am now. My son's 18.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so I was like, what do I do? Like, I'm going to just be the best mom I can be, and in between do gigs and stuff. But moral to the wise is that in order for you to be successful, you have to put in the work.
Oh no, of course you got to put the work in. But you did say so you're doing gigs, and I did see I've been watching your social media page.
You
One of those
stalking me.
guys. Yep, that's what I
You're
do.
stalking.
But
Are you sorry? You're following my other page?
Um,
Following one of my pages.
I'm following some guy called Leon.
Yeah. Okay.
I don't even
That's
know.
me.
I don't even know
That's
who
me.
that is.
That's me.
I mean, it looks like you.
Stage name.
Hey.
Exactly,
But yeah,
But I was saying, because you performed at the O2.
I did, sir. I sure did.
How was that?
It was an experience. So this was called Open Mic UK, and it was a competition. I got to the final stage. It was like
Excellent.
4 stages, and I got to the final. And then I guess they wanted somebody better. It was like
Okay.
a 1,000 of us.
So it's like an X Factor.
It was
type
like an
stuff,
X
it-
Factor, yeah, on the
Okay.
cheaper version.
I'm with you.
You
Yeah,
don't
no, 'cause
get to
I
see it on
saw that.
TV.
I did see that.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's crazy. I'm just looking at the time at the same time.
We can wrap it up.
Or we could just keep going, and then I don't know what happens now.
I don't know what happens if we keep going, man. I think
You see me just trying to break the rules.
Imagine.
just try and break the rules. I think
I say we break the rules.
I
man.
think we can wrap it up because
Go for it.
I really want to get you in again.
Yeah, no, we're gonna have to,
Oh.
because we
And
still need to talk about the payday loan
So
stuff, the 30 grand debt.
Yes,
but
no
also there's one of
problem.
the songs I was listening to, one of your songs.
Yes.
See, stalking and everything. but there's a song I was listening to, and it'd be
Called
good
research.
I
Michael
know.
Mann.
Or it could be just stalking.
Why
Yeah, all
stalking?
that.
Stalking sounds better when you say it. People just going, "Wow, that guy's crazy." But so yeah, it would be good to touch upon that, and also I think you had a video on being proud to be black,
Yes.
and that was cool because I'm talking to my mum all the time about taking her hair out and just embracing,
Just being you.
Yes,
I
embrace
say while I've
yourself.
got a weave in my hair.
Yeah, I know, right? My
Being a hypocrite
we're
right
gonna
now.
play that one off there.
But you couldn't tell though. Could you tell?
I don't know.
You
About
can't
that one.
tell. You can't
Yeah,
tell.
of course I can
How
tell,
you
man.
could tell?
Huh?
What you trying to say? I can't have hair like this.
No. I'm just trying to say that most black girls are good. Man, playing, man.
You
No, but they
need-
do. Most do.
They do,
Listen.
and I could tell you why. It's just taken over. It's just taken over.
It's fashion.
It's fashion, and it's gone so beyond expectations, and that's what it is. Because right now, my hair is actually the same length as this, but it's thin,
Okay.
so I use it for body. You know, so it's not like I'm bald headed.
Hey,
Hashtag
saying
Johnny.
that, which is-
It's fashion. It's a different look. Some people put
Hashtag
different
Johnny.
looks on. Yeah, hashtag. I just remember Fresh Prince of Bel-Air
Yeah,
when they get locked in the basement.
yeah. Do you remember?
Yeah,
and
exactly.
she stripped off everything.
Exactly.
So yeah.
Okay, I don't think I've seen that.
Have you not
episode.
seen that?
No, I've not seen that episode.
bruv, come
Tell
on.
me you watch Fresh Prince.
Of course I have.
Okay,
man.
so how you ain't
But I'm
seen
just
that
saying,
episode?
That episode, I've watched a lot of TV, but remember, just gonna put this one out here so everyone who's listening does know. My age group round here, right? I'm probably the youngest person in the studio.
Probably.
What you mean?
Come on, man. Fresh Prince of Bel-Air
If
still
you
playing
ain't
I'm
now.
seen-
just
Thank you.
saying.
He
And
don't
when did
know.
it come out? When did Fresh
It
Prince
don't
come
matter
out?
when it come out.
When
If
did
you
Fresh Prince come out?
if you watch Fresh Prince, you would know what we're
Tell me
talking
when
about.
did it come out?
80 something.
Okay.
Okay,
Just
it don't matter.
okay.
You
I-
have to
I've
be a
watched-
Fresh Prince fan to know.
I watched some of the parts where we had the black, is it Vivian? Black
Yes.
Vivian? So I watched some of the black Vivian,
Yes.
and then she changed over because she
Yes.
left, didn't she?
Light
Yes.
skin
So then
Yeah.
so then I've watched a lot of the light skinned Vivian. So that's the
Okay.
generation bracket I've been watching
Okay.
from.
I understand.
So-
I think it was the Black Vivian.
Yeah, we'll let him off.
We'll let
There
him
you
off for
go.
that
We'll
one.
let you off.
Just walk that one off. I
Let
tell
you
ya.
off.
it's
with that
funny.
one.
It's funny.
Yeah.
It's good.
Yeah.
See, that's your research. Google that one.
I'm doing it now. I brought up a few things already, so I'm just gonna go through it, aren't I? But I think we're gonna have to get you back in the studio
When you're
I think
ready.
we were limited on time today, and ideally it would be nice to have the full time to actually go through some of the rise,
Yes.
some of the
Falls,
fall, and then
some of the
and then
stabilizations.
the rebirth.
Everything. 'Cause I'm
Yeah.
intrigued.
It will be good. But so far it's been awesome. So
Thank
I think this is
you.
part 1
Yes.
of the lovely Nina Simone, and
Thank
we would
you.
love to have you back in
I would
to
love
finish
to
part
be
2.
back. Thank
Especially.
you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you
Nina.
so much.
Appreciate it.
No
Take
problem.
care.
See ya. Bye.
Bye.
So I mean.